My Lords, I heartily welcome Baroness McIntosh's short debate. I'm actually just surprised the Chamber is not packed out, because we hear a lot about emergencies, public health emergencies, NHS emergencies, and of course the mother of all emergencies, the climate change emergency. But millions not being able to afford energy in the UK in 2022 really is an emergency and will be immediately devastating for many individuals and institutions. When we talk about climate-related deaths, I hope that we count those people who could die of the cold because they can't afford bills. This isn't also just about consumers. Think of all those businesses struggling because of lockdown policies, and these extra energy costs will be a hammer blow and lead to many cafes, pubs, factories shutting up shop, hardly levelling up. And two small charities I know who work respectively with vulnerable women and with the homeless have told me they won't be able to keep their premises open because of energy bills. Of course, I welcome short-term fixes. Yes, scrap green taxes and VAT, but this surely demands a major rethink of energy strategy. I understand partly that this immediate crisis is caused by international lockdown measures, but as economics writer Phil Mullen points out, we need to untangle contingent factors from long-term endemic issues affecting gas shortages and higher energy prices, and to quote, long-term problems derived from the transition from fossil fuels and the absence of reliable alternative energy supplies. I agree, and this points to how green policies and tougher and tougher targets for decarbonising energy supplies is one major reason for the hike in energy bills that's left our energy supplies so precarious and has left ordinary people to foot the bill. I think we need to stop letting carbon reduction policies being placed ahead of securing the supply of cheap, reliable energy. So I'd like to see the government address the following four areas. Having spent millions subsidising renewables, will the Minister concede that the headlong embrace of wind power means that the UK is vulnerable to energy shocks when the wind stops blowing? So until the technology exists to store wind, surely we need to recognise that fossil fuels, gas turbines, coal-fired stations are still needed. Can we stop neglecting, number two, nuclear power when it's a clean, stable energy source that produces carbon-free electricity? The onerous, prohibitive, exorbitant regulatory bureaucracy, the years of delays in building new plants needs to stop. Indeed, can I suggest that the government emulate, wait for it, the EU's Ursula von der Leyen, you never thought I'd say that, and label nuclear as green if it needs to do so to brandish its eco-credentials post-COP26. Thirdly, unlike Noble Baroness McIntosh, I do think we should look again at fracking. A vast supply of gas lies beneath our feet, and if the UK extracted just 10% of its shale gas resources, it could meet gas needs for the next 50 years. So can the government please lift its seemingly indefinite moratorium on fracking? Fourth and finally, can I suggest that the best way the government can lower energy bills is to review, indeed scrap, some of its own wrong-headed eco-policies. None more so than my bête noire, the imposition of heat pump boilers. They are costly to install, and you have to wait 24 hours to get a limit of 17 to 19 degrees, and yet they are likely to lead to even more green levies on gas bills. They should go. But mainly what we need is a complete overhaul of our energy policies so that energy price crises don't become the new normal.